Alrighty. We are back. And we are back in business. Morning, everyone. Morning. Thank you guys for being here. We have a lot of people here already, so that's awesome. Back like we never left. So, how'd everyone do this week? Hopefully, everyone did okay this week. Last week, I guess you could say. Yeah, long-term portfolio. I haven't looked at that in a few weeks. I don't plan on looking at that. Yes, I did trade while I was gone. I had a pretty decent week in New Jersey trading, which is interesting. I always seem to do pretty well when I'm away. I don't know why that is, but strange. But yeah, good week for me. We'll go over some of the trades I took last week. All right. So today is wedding was good. A lot of fun. It was in Spring Lake, New Jersey. Really nice area. Just had a good weekend in New Jersey. Took some time to relax, enjoy it. Really tried to disconnect as much as I could, even though I was still in the Discord chat basically the entire week. But yeah, sometimes you just can't disconnect completely. I think it's actually unhealthy for me to disconnect completely. I think I always want to make sure I'm getting some kind of idea of what the market's doing, right? There's no reason not to know at least what's going on. So I know last week we rejected pretty harshly again around the 12-1. And we sort of had a pretty ugly day on Friday, which was pretty easy money. When I was sort of re-looking at it, had a good week, had a good day myself on Friday. It was just 9 EMA rejections all day on Friday until around like afternoon time. And we got that little bounce back. So let's go ahead and just review everything that happened last week, what's going on this week, some levels to watch out for. Pretty nice levels. Looking at them today, I can feel pretty confident coming into today on some of the levels that I'll show you guys. Rafael Marquez laughed at my portfolio. Not sure what that means, but golfing was great. Everything was great. So let's go ahead and get started here. So today is the 23rd of May. We have 1 week left of May, guys. 1 week to finish off the month. We have a lot to look at. There's a lot of stuff on the economic calendar this week. That's the first thing I want to say to get this stream started. We have a very loaded economic calendar this week. We have FOMC minutes. We have GDP numbers. We also have inflation numbers, consumer spending numbers. So a lot of stuff coming out this week. You got to be cautious this week. And what have we seen that's pretty typical around large economic news? We see a choppy market. So if you guys remember, the last time we were awaiting some news from the Fed, we had a very choppy market. Now we're awaiting some more news from the Fed on FOMC minutes to see what their last meeting was about, right? To get some insight on what they talked about. Should we expect a pretty choppy Monday, Tuesday until that news? Yeah, it's very possible. So we got to make sure we know there's a large economic week coming up, and we could potentially expect some choppy trading. So that's the first thing I'm coming into this week with my mind set on, is that I need to make sure that I have to see a real trend form. I can't get caught in any kind of chop this week, especially with the large economic news that's going to be coming out. We also have some more earnings. We have the earnings calendar to look out for, which I will pull up for you guys in a second. We do have some pretty decent-sized earnings this week, NVIDIA being one of them, Costco, Alibaba, some big ones this week. So let's watch out for that. Okay, we'll look at those. Look at the futures, obviously. Tesla, looking at Tesla today. If Tesla gets any upside, I want to see if it rejects off 700. I will show you guys that. Google caught this extremely nicely. I know some of you guys in the chat caught this huge. Unfortunately, I sold these out for break even. But I bought on Thursday some Google puts, 2150 puts at $3.50. Those went up to, I don't even know what those went up to. I don't know if I'll even be able to check, but those are up, I think, close to 500% on Friday. I got out break even because I opened up red, and being away, when I saw it was back to break even, I was fine with it. I just took it off. But congratulations to you guys that traded that Google put with me. That was huge. So we'll look at Google. Retail disaster. You guys saw when I was away, the first day I was away, which was Wednesday, we had some crazy rejections on retail stocks because of Walmart and Target earnings. It brought down everything. It brought down Costco. It brought down BJ's. It brought down Ross reported and had bad earnings. So across the board, retail stocks got a really big hit, and this brought down the XLP as well. So watch out for retail. It's going to be interesting this week. I'm not sure how to sort of trade this just yet. That's just something that I'm going to have to monitor. It's Monday, so I need some more, information on how retail trades. But retail stocks should be on watch because they got crushed last week because of some of the earnings that was released. So all your retail names are down heavily coming into this week. How do those trade this week? That is definitely something that I am going to be watching. XLV, relative strength on the healthcare sector. If you guys look at the XLV ETF, it is holding up very nicely. So healthcare stocks, that's another sector that I want to watch out for this week. Upstart, gap fill fail, maybe, right? So I traded an Upstart trade on Thursday. I think I got in Thursday, Friday. I was up nicely on Friday. It got downgraded on Friday. I had to take my loss, unfortunately. However, this is still a potential play that I am watching. So I want to show you guys this Upstart gap fill. If the market's weak, I don't have much confidence that Upstart will trade against the market. But this is an interesting setup I want to show you guys today. Visa, MasterCard, and an American Express. All three of these stocks are sitting at huge support levels. How does the financial sector trade? How does the sort of payment processors trade this week? Something that I'm definitely watching as well. Going to show you guys all three of these charts. Starbucks, another stock that I'm eyeing. This is at a major support level as well. And then finally, Nvidia and AMD are stuck in a very tight range. Chip stocks sort of trading sideways today. Want to give you guys some analysis on those two. So we have a good schedule. Again, guys, it is Monday, and as I always say on Monday, it's difficult to know what's hot and what's not. So we have to make sure we sort of take today as a learning lesson, get an idea of what things to watch, and then tomorrow we see how things sort of follow up and how they sort of continue. So let's go ahead and get started. At the end, we'll look at my month so far. I'll share with you guys, my entire month so far, how I've done trading. It's been a very good month for me. And then we'll look at some of the trades or the stocks that you guys want to look at. So if you are a member of the channel, make sure to go to the community tab and make sure to, I'll go ahead and post that one more time in there for you guys to go. I know some of you are already posting in there. So here it is, 0523. All right, guys, so if you are a member of the channel, you will have access to that Google Docs. Make sure to go ahead and check it out and put in your tickers for this week, or for today, for us to look at. All right, guys, let's get started. So first off, let's go economic earnings calendar. Let's do that first. Let's get that out of the way. So here is the earnings calendar. So guys, pretty packed earnings calendar, to be honest. Let's really take a look at this. So we have Zoom today. We have Advanced Auto Parts. Those are sometimes some pretty big movers, so let's keep an eye on those. Best Buy, AutoZone. Not really interested in Abercrombie & Fitch or Ralph Lauren, but these are sort of aligning with that retail sector, right? Are these weak as well? That could be something to watch. Abercrombie & Fitch and Ralph Lauren, however you guys say it, Ralph Lauren. I don't know exactly the right pronunciation, but keep an eye on those two for the retail sector. We saw a lot of weakness on retail. Those could be weak again. Nordstrom, another one that could be weak. Intuit, Urban Outfitters. So we have a lot of sort of retailers reporting here, which could be very interesting to watch out for. Toll Brothers, that's housing. Dick's Sporting Goods, Express, another retail clothing brand. BMO, that's banks. Scotiabank, banks. Nvidia, that's big, guys. This is very, very big for retail or for tech. I'm not going to play Nvidia. I have a lot of shares of Nvidia, so obviously I hope for the best here. But definitely something that could wake up Nvidia or, really crush it. At least give us some momentum to either side. Nvidia, AMD, Qualcomm TSM, all the chip stocks. Keep an eye on those after NVIDIA reports on Wednesday. Snowflake, Splunk, Box, not much else. Alibaba, that's pretty interesting on Thursday. Macy's, these are big for retail as well. Macy's, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. So a lot of retail stuff coming out this week. You guys can already see this. A&F, Ralph Lauren, Nordstrom, Urban Outfitters, Express, Macy's, Dollar Tree, Buckle, Dollar General, BIDU. That's another Chinese name. We'll obviously move with Alibaba in some extent. Costco, another big retailer. Ulta, another big retailer. Gap, another big retailer. American Eagle, another big retailer. So big week for retail. And then finally, Big Lots. Not really interested in some of these over here. So you can sort of see it here, guys, right? We have a pretty packed economic or earnings calendar and a lot of retail on the board. So let's watch out for that. That's the first thing I want to share. Next thing is the earnings calendar, or I'm sorry, economic. And this is, do I ever play ER? Not very much, Daniel. Not very much. Maybe once or twice an earnings season. Not often. So here's economic calendar. We have a lot of stuff here. Let me scroll down. Here we go. So today, nothing scheduled for today. Tomorrow we have manufacturing PMI, new home sales. Nothing crazy there. I saw Ike saying that there was Ike said that Jerome's speaking tomorrow. Let me see if that's actually on Tuesday. Yeah, I don't see that on this. Okay, yeah, tomorrow we have it on the Forex. I'm sure. So Forex Factory seems to be a little bit more up to date than Market Watch. So here's Forex Factory. And then tomorrow on Forex Factory, it's saying that Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks at 12:20. Let's see, what is this? Remarks at the National Center for American Indian Enterprise. So he seems to be speaking at some pretty... It doesn't look like it's that large of an event, as the importance is not read. So he might just be speaking at some kind of summit, which could cause some kind of reaction. So let's just keep an eye on this. 12:20 tomorrow, Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks. This will likely be nothing new, but at least maybe watch out for it for a little bit of volatility. The big one is Wednesday. That's the FOMC minutes. So 12:20 tomorrow is Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Not sure exactly what he'll be speaking about. Probably just what we've already heard about for the most part. But the big one is right here, guys. 2 o'clock on Wednesday, FOMC minutes, more updates on interest rates, more updates on inflation, more updates on balance sheet reduction. So a lot of updates here at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Jobless claims Thursday, real domestic product, this is GDP, right? Is this going to be GDP? No, maybe not. Hold on a second. Not sure if this is sort of written differently than I'm used to. Is anyone familiar with? I believe this is GDP numbers, but it looks different than what they usually write on this economic calendar. So that, and then Friday we have PCE inflation numbers, consumer spending, disposable income, nominal personal income. So a lot of consumer numbers here on Friday. Disposable income, consumer spending. This could also play into that retail. That sort of retail trade, keeping an eye on how consumers are spending, what's their income, how is this going to affect retail stocks as well. So it seems like it's a lot of stuff that could definitely affect the consumer and retail stocks this week. That's why I continue to bring up retail. So it looks like, okay, so this is just a revision of it. Okay, thank you, appreciate that. So yeah, a big one, guys. Big packed economic calendar. You can see it right here, right? We have Wednesday big, Thursday big, Friday big. A lot of stuff to watch out for. Let's make sure we are aware of that. Okay? Let's go ahead and continue. Futures. Let's do it. So where I want to start on the futures is the 4-hour chart. This is where I want to start on the futures, guys. And the reason I start here on the 4-hour is because I want everyone to realize the larger term trend on this market, and it is clearly still down, right? When we come into any day, we need to understand the larger term trend, and it is clearly still a very large downtrend that has still not been really tested, right? We still have not even tested it since beginning of May, beginning of this month. We have not tested that downtrend once. We almost tried to do it here at the 12,550, but we couldn't even break above the 12,550. So first off, the first thing to keep in mind, guys, coming into today is the downtrend is still very real, and there should be no reason for you to be looking for some type of, hero uptrend that you are trying to catch. That is the first thing that you need to understand. And that's why I start with the 4-hour. So the 4-hour, strong downtrend. You don't even want to, it doesn't even matter about the daily. The daily is still even stronger of a downtrend. So 4-hour, strong downtrend, that's the first thing to keep an eye out for. Second, the hourly chart, which is where I really love to look at the short-term movements of this market. The hourly chart, I think, shows a lot. So here's the hourly chart, guys, and you can clearly see what's happening here. We are stair-stepping to the downside. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are stair-stepping to the downside. We are very weak. There should be no reason to try to catch the bottom here when everything is still sliding lower, making lower highs, lower lows, downtrend still there. There's no reason to be trying to time a bottom here. So that is that. That is something we need to logically and mentally put into our minds as we approach the day. You're not buying calls because you think the bottom's in. That's not a way to trade. Don't be that guy. So you can see we're on the downtrend. We're stair-stepping lower. Where are we rejecting? Both on Thursday and Friday of last week, we are rejecting previous support. We broke this very big bear flag as we talked about, right? We talked about this bear flag. We came right back into previous resistance. Boom, boom. Look at the rejection right at 12,550. Textbook rejection at previous resistance. Bear flag was created. Huge bear flag breakdown on Wednesday. Just monster bear flag breakdown. If I go to Desi TA, I will show you what this was looking like on Wednesday. This was Wednesday. This was the 19th, I believe. I'm sorry, this was the 18th. Here we go. So this is what it looked like, right? I'm going to pull up the Discord chat and show you what we were looking at on this day. This is very important to look at what this looked like at the time, right? So I talked about how we tried to close over 12,550 and couldn't do it, right? We could not break that 12,550. Very weak volume, and just the strength was not there on the upside. So look, if we go into this chart, if we look at this chart from Wednesday that I posted in the chat, let me scroll over. Look at how textbook that rejection came in on Wednesday. You came right back into that 12,550. You started to show the rejection. You had the bear flag that we talked about, and boom, you guys can see right here, bear flag, huge breakdown. So what that shows to me is that the levels, the resistance, the supply that is there on the market is still acting as levels that people are just selling into. And so what that shows to me is that you should not be trusting any type of breakouts to the upside. They are not working still. So that is something you need to know. So what is that? How does that sort of play into today, right? Look at this level here at 12.1. This was a previous support level that turned into resistance right here that we were able to break above. And when we broke back below it, look at the rejections that came in once again. And we didn't even quite get there this morning. We don't even have the strength to get there this morning at 12.1. We're actually rejecting 12,000 this morning. So, what are we looking for today? How do you sort of structure your day today? You cannot be bullish under 12.1. You just cannot be bullish under 12.1, guys. This margin right here, this is how you get faked out. Trading the upside early morning into 12.1, this is how you get crushed. You might be able to scalp something, right? I'm not saying there might not be opportunity. There might be a little Tesla pop, little Nvidia pop in the morning towards 12.1. But the larger opportunity is not trading into a supply zone here, into 12.1. This is a level that will likely reject, and you could very easily see something like this. The same thing that we saw last week. So what will I be looking for today? I will be not touching a single thing. If I see upside this morning, weak, just really quick and weak upside, which I really don't like to trade, if I see a really strong push this morning into 12.1, I will be looking for this rejection to come in. That's exactly what I will be looking for today. That is a very nice opportunity in my opinion. That is what my idea is. The reason I'd rather trade this, right? The reason I'd rather trade this than trade this is because I know that the market is weak. I know that the downtrend is strong. I know that the rejections are there. So if we were in a bullish market, I'd rather play the upside, right? But we are not in a bullish market, and that is why I'd rather play the rejection. So I'm looking for a 12.1 rejection today. If we get that, great. If we break over 12.1, you're sort of in a channel, right? At that point, it's sort of difficult. If you break over 12.1, you're trading in this channel between 12.550 and 12.1. In between that area, very difficult to know exactly what happens. So ideally, if you're a trader today, you want to see this. This would be a fantastic opportunity right here. That's what you want to see. If we do not see any upside out of the gates, then I would just watch this pre-market low. Because if we drop this pre-market low, guys, I'll go to the 30-minute. If we drop this pre-market low, we could very well see us move into this downside from Friday again. So I would watch that 11.8, pre-market low, 11.850, and then I would be looking for the rejection at 12.1. This would be a fantastic trade in my opinion. So that's what I'm watching today, guys. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, we could see some choppiness because of the high economic news this week, so let's just be aware of that as well. Okay? ES, let's start on the 4-hour. Same exact thing, guys. 4-hour chart on the ES. You can clearly see the downtrend is still there. We have not tested it. We almost tested it here on the 17th. We tried to test it here. We could not get over the 4-hour downtrend. So that's the first thing that has to be in our head. What's the longer term trend? It is clearly downside. So next, what are we looking at on the hourly chart? Well, we can see that the ES attempted to hold above this 40.50. This was previous resistance. We failed right down into it. Same sort of bear flag that broke down off of previous support into resistance. You can see it right here. Previous support, resistance, sort of, it's a little bit sloppier because you can see we did sort of get over it, but we clearly did not break the downtrend. We did not break the major resistance, and we fell right back down. Now, what is happening this morning? You can clearly see it. It's the same thing as the NASDAQ. Previous support, right, into resistance. You can see it happening this morning as we speak. So where did the market start to fail this morning? Right here at this green level. This is not, magic, right? This is a very, very tough level to get over. This is also the pre-market highs on Friday. You can see pre-market highs on Friday, and we simply are not getting over that level. So how are you bullish until you see that break? You just can't be. So we have to see this 39.50 break. All right, if we see 39.50 break, maybe there's some move to the upside to sort of make up this just straight down move on Wednesday. Very possible, right? You could maybe see something along these lines. If you do get this break, you could see sort of a quick move, sort of trapping all of the shorts from both Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That could very potentially happen. But, of course, you still need to watch the downtrend. You still need to watch 4,050. If we reject here at 39.50 today, and we break pre-market lows, which is around 3,900, then I would be looking for the downside once again. If we don't do anything, and we could easily just chop in this range all day. That is also another possibility. So, moral of the story, guys, watch out for this major resistance. We are trading in as we open 39.50 on the ES, and the same exact level here on the NASDAQ around 12.1, 12,000. NASDAQ is a little bit weaker. You can see it already. You can see, look at the difference. You can see that the ES is sort of sitting at that level. The NASDAQ is still sort of trading off that level. So ES a little bit stronger than the NQ. Either way, coming into today, guys, the market is still weak. This pre-market push that you see on the market right now is not to be trusted. You're up 100 points on the NASDAQ because you were basically just making back a total demolition on Friday, which could be signs of capitulation. I don't know quite yet, but you just can't, looking at this chart, guys, you just simply can't look for upside yet. There's no reason to be trying to counter trade this trend. You can't counter trend trade this yet. There's really no reason to. Continue to look for the rejections at key levels that continue to show themselves on a daily basis. Okay? I'll go quickly over the Dow. I'm not really interested much in the Dow. I don't trade the Dow stocks much, but what I would look out for is a rejection of 32.2. That's right here, guys. You can see previous low. We broke it. You probably could see a retest of that. That's what I would watch out for. And then Russell. The Russell is clearly rejecting this 1800 level today. So look at this. So 1800 on the Russell. You can see right here. Look at all these rejections. So I would look for a rejection. I would look for a rejection off 1800 right there. That's what I would look for today. All right, guys, that's the futures. I hope that helps. Very easy levels. I'm starting something. It's not out yet, but I am starting something for you guys in the live stream. It's going to be sort of a way to support the stream. I know I have like a $4.99 per month way to support the stream, but I want to provide more. So I'm going to start it's actually a Discord chat. This is the first time I'm talking of it. So, it's not anything it's just a way for me to post the levels that I talk here on the live stream. It's a way for me to post these levels for everyone watching in a forum for you guys to relook at, right? So there's no conversation in there. There's no live trading. There's nothing. There's nothing besides just posting charts. Like, no one can talk. It's not a trading community in any means. It's just a way for me to post the charts that I talk about here on the live stream, and for you guys to relook at them throughout the day and to sort of, go back and say, oh, what was that level that Vincent was looking at? Was it the 13,800? Was it 18? What level was that? I want to relook at that. Instead of you having to go back to the live stream, you can go check a Discord chat. That'll be a cheaper way to just sort of relook at the levels and for me to provide levels to you guys as well. Something I'm working on, not something that's out yet. It's a lot of work, and I also am going to focus on making it not anywhere as valuable as the regular trading community, because that would just take away from people that we're trading live with on a daily basis. So this is simply just charts. It sort of looks like this. It's called Chart, actually. The name of the group is Chart, Chart, and it's basically just me posting technical levels. That's it. Nothing else besides that. So something I'm working on. Stay updated, guys. It's something that I want to provide for the live stream members. I think a lot of you guys would probably enjoy that. So that's that. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's go to Tesla. So Tesla, guys, man, I missed this on Tesla on Friday, man. If I was at my desk on Friday, this could have been a really profitable day for me. But unfortunately, I was not here. So it is what it is. You guys can see that we have just died under 700 on Friday. We just continued lower all day, basically, and we found some support at 630. Now, why did we find support at 630? The reason we found support on 630, if I go to the daily chart and I get a little bit more time, I will show you exactly why 630 held. You can see it right here. So 630, guys, is this previous resistance that turned into support back in July of 2021. Right there. 630 was a level that held. And you can see that on the 1 minute chart, look at where we held on Friday. Right here. Look at that green area. That is where we held. Back to the daily chart. I will show you exactly why again that 630 held. It makes a lot of sense. You can see it. It's right here. So right here, you have 630 on Tesla, a triple bottom. And if we go over to the right, that is where Tesla held. So 630, major level. Have 630 on your charts on Tesla. If we break 630, guys, you are moving down towards 560. Absolutely. If you break 630, if the market stays weak, you are going to see 560 on Tesla. That is this triple bottom. This is a huge level. And if 560 doesn't hold, yeah, I don't even want to think about if 560 doesn't hold, because that is there's nothing in between 560 and 460. This 100-point range is absolutely no support. So 560, if 630 breaks, you will see 560. I think that's almost a guarantee. If 530 is weak and does not hold up Tesla, there is nothing in between that level until 560 where this triple bottom is. So that is a must watch today. If we go to the 30-minute chart, we can see that today you are in between the 630 range and the 700 previous support. If you see a push into the 690, 700 today, I would be looking for this, guys. This could be a really clean setup. Previous support. If you see a fake push into 690, 700, then I would absolutely look for a rejection. That would be a fantastic look, a fantastic trade, fantastic opportunity if we see this. So I would look for this, a push into supply, which is around 690, 700, and I would look for the rejection trade back towards 630. If we do not even see that push up into the 700s today, then you need to watch out for this 630 low. If you do not hold this 630 low, guys, this could get a little bit crazy. This could get a little nasty. So the range today to watch out for is 630 to 690. I would be careful trading in this range. I would be looking for either the rejection at the high, right? I would look for the rejection here at the high, or I would look for the breakdown of the low. That's what I'd be watching for. So keep an eye on that today, guys. Tesla could definitely provide some opportunity. I would absolutely be looking out for that. Okay, that's Tesla. Google. This was awesome, guys. This was awesome. I know you guys were here. I don't need to say it again. I know you guys were here for the live stream. And if you are a live stream member, you know that we were watching this trade. I traded this in the Discord chat. We were looking for the 2230 breakdown on Google. And we were looking for it to drop 100 points to 2130. And this happened beautifully. We'll see if I can find it. I really don't care to just show it again, but I'm sure you guys are familiar. Congratulations if you caught this with me. Let's see if I can find it. Just to see how it looks like in hindsight. Yeah, it's going to be hard to find. I don't want to waste your time. But anyways, the reason we were looking at Google, guys, is because if we go to the daily chart and we look at this Google level, we get some more time. What we were looking at was the fact that there was no support on Google in between 2230 and 2130 right here. You guys see this chart right here on the daily chart? You see this push? This was April 1st and April 2nd, or April 1st and April 5th. That was right here. This was Friday and then Monday. So we had a monster push, about 100-point push right here on Google. And I was saying if Google gets under 2230, which is this shelf right here, you should see a really quick move to 2130. And if we look at what happened, we go to the 30-minute. Look at how beautiful that was. Right under 2230 on Friday and a straight move to 2130, and that is exactly where it held. So some clean stuff on Google here, guys. Congratulations if you caught this. I know some of you guys in the chat did. I would be a little bit cautious looking for more downside today after that push. I would watch to see if 2130 holds. If 2130 does not hold, then we know what we have to do, right? If 2130 does not hold, then we know what we have to do, right? If we trade that thing back below that level, what would I be looking for today? I would be looking for a rejection at 2230. This is what I'd be looking for today. Previous support, this is where the breakdown occurred. I would be looking for this thing to return back to 2230 and start to reject that level. You might be able to play that back to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for on Google today. A retest of 2230 and a rejection. Okay. I just want to quickly talk about the retail stocks and the disaster that unfolded last week, really. So here's the weekly chart on Walmart, guys, and this is just nasty. Look at that. So huge weekly red candle, monster volume, straight down off earnings, breaking major levels of support. So Walmart, what happens this week? I'm not ready to say what happens this week. It is way too early to get an idea of what the plan is for retail this week. I'm not ready to sort of trade in either direction, but I am definitely wanting to point this out to you guys that are on the live stream. We have to watch out for retail. Walmart, dead. Yes, last week, total crush. What happens this week? Target, another one. Look at this weekly candle on Target. Just a huge downside week on Target with big volume. What happens this week on Target? BJ's was another one we played to the downside. Another stock that got crushed off, not off earnings, but off the sector weakness, off retail. Another one, right? Ross, another stock that got hit off that retail weakness. You had Dollar General, big downside on Dollar General. That obviously did not happen, that retest, so that's no good. So huge downside on Dollar General. And then Dollar Tree is, what is Dollar Tree? Forgot the Dollar Tree ticker. Dollar Tree is DLTR. Dollar Tree, look at that. So what happens this week on retail? That is my main watch, guys. And you have earnings coming up on a few of these. This is something I'm very interested in. I will definitely be watching Walmart, Target, Costco, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, BJ's, Ross, and all the other ones that are reporting. Look at Costco. Another one hit off of the retail earnings. The really where this started was Walmart and Target earnings. That is what kickstarted this entire downside move. And on Wednesday, guys, this is sort of what I was talking about. So right here, this was the last morning brew I was able to provide before I went away. I said, short and sweet, watching retail to the downside, as I don't have the bandwidth to be looking all over the place today. Just provided levels in DES-ETA, but this was the day that we were all watching in the chat, the retail to the downside, and that was beautiful. That was a beautiful day. So congratulations, guys, on that day. Caught a lot of nice downside. Costco, BJ's, everything just sort of slipped. So that was really nice. What happens this week? That is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. And the XLP, obviously, yes, took a hit because of it. XLP broke the uptrend because of the weakness that we saw on these retail names. So I'm not here to tell you what happens this week on these stocks. I'm just here to make sure you were aware of what happened last week and to make sure to watch out. Does this bounce or do we see continued weakness today? That is something I am monitoring coming into today. Okay? XLV. This is some relative strength that I like to see. So I'm watching the XLV pretty closely this week, and this is healthcare. So healthcare, you guys can see right here. Yeah, Lowe's and Home Depot didn't help either. Correct. So XLV, you can see the quadruple bottom, I guess you could call it. 1, 2, it's more than 4, but let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see that we are really holding this 125 level on the XLV. We've sort of bounced, we pulled back, and we held up. So I like that. I like that we bounced and we still held up. If I go to the hourly chart, if we can jump over this last week's highs, which is around 132, right in this area, I still like this XLV for more upside. You guys can see that we are really holding this on the 4-hour chart. There is definitely a possibility for some continuation here if the XLV outperforms. The stock that I'm watching the most for healthcare here, if I see healthcare outperform, is UNH. Why is that? Because UNH is on a very nice uptrend. It has tested this uptrend here, it has tested it here, and it is testing it again. So what does UNH want to do with this uptrend? Does healthcare outperform? Does UNH come back from this slip? It's about 15-16% off the highs, off a pullback to the uptrend. If I go to the weekly chart, you guys can see that on the weekly chart, we put in a pretty nice weekly candle here. You can see right here, we've sort of held up this uptrend on the weekly chart, and I'm definitely interested to see if healthcare outperforms this week, does UNH have a nice little comeback behind it? So this is something I'm watching. I'm not, 100% on this just yet, just sharing with you guys sort of some of the things in my mind this Monday morning. This is definitely one. UNH pulling back off the uptrend, XLV, outperformance, potential hold of 125. Could there be a nice little sympathy move off healthcare on UNH here? Something I am definitely eyeing, something I wanted to share with you guys today. So keep an eye on that. Okay, next, Upstart. So, Upstart. This is something that I have been watching for a few weeks or a few days now, and we were up on this, and unfortunately, I had to take my loss on Friday, and that is because there was a downgrade on Friday. So Friday, we had a Wedbush price target cut downgrade, which sort of just crushed the momentum, which is unfortunate. Also, a weak market doesn't help as well. So Friday, we did have that little downside move. Before that, we were on a nice little run here into the gap fill. The gap fill is up probably towards this $70, $75 level. And I was definitely looking to see, can we start to move towards that gap fill? You guys can see on the daily chart. Does one red day sort of kill this? I don't think so. I think this is definitely still something to watch for, guys. That's why I say maybe it's failing, but maybe it's not. So I'm going to sort of watch out for this $40 level. You can see that we're really holding that 40. If Upstart holds this 40 today, I am definitely interested to see if this can regain some strength. You can see we have sort of a push, a retest off 40. Can we curl back off this 40? That is something I'm watching. Can we get to the gap fill level of around $71, $72? It's like a back burner play, guys. It's not something I'm that focused on. It's not something I'm going to go put, a large amount of money into. But it is a back burner play. It could be a very high percentage point gain if you are correct. But it's just not quite as I don't know how to say, not quite as, the setup's not really quite something I like to play and not as trustable as I would like. It's Upstart. It's a questionable name. It's under a lot of pressure. It's a small cap. And I don't really love trading these types of names. I am a investor of Upstart. I buy shares of it, which is obviously not very good right now. It's 2% of my portfolio. Not great. But I am interested in this little Upstart gap fill. So just wanted to share that with you guys today. I'd keep an eye on it. It's a potential opportunity up towards this 70, 71. I think you need to see strength on the overall market for this to work out. I would not be trading this if you see the NASDAQ drop again today. I would only be trading this if you see strength on the overall market. Okay, I'm going to go over 3 stocks right here, and they all look the same. Here it is. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they all do basically the same thing, and they are all sitting at the same exact levels on their charts, pretty much, for the most part. So where am I looking? I'm looking at this triple bottom, quadruple bottom, whatever you want to call it here, around 195 on Visa. What does Visa do off this 195? If I go to MasterCard, what does MasterCard do off this 315? You can see right here. Same exact thing. And what does AXP do off of this 150? These stocks are all sitting at pretty much the exact same levels. What do all 3 of these names do at these major support levels? Do they break or do we bounce here? This is something I'm watching. MA, Visa, AXP, all sitting at major support levels. 150 on AXP, 315 on MasterCard, and 195 on Visa. So if you want to play within, if you think the trade continues to trade within this range, which it has been for the last 6-7 months, then you look for this, right? This is what you're trading. So when you're here, I would be looking for this, right? So that's what I'm looking for. MasterCard, does it trade within this range? If you think so, it trades back up to 380. If you think AXP stays within this range, then you bounce off this 150 and you trade back up to like the 170s, 180s. So again, it's Monday. I'm just sharing with you guys stuff that's on my mind. And AXP, Visa, and MasterCard is definitely on my mind here at these levels. So keeping an eye on that. That's something I would monitor, guys. Starbucks, this is another level that was pointed out to me on the chat, and it's definitely something that's interesting. Starbucks has just had a very nice fall from its highs, right? You guys can see about a 40% drop. Does Starbucks try to hold? This is like virus levels, guys. This is April of 2020. So Starbucks is trading back at virus levels. You can see right here around this 72 level. You can see we held here in the past. You can see support. We held here for April to, so about 4 months, 3-4 months, we held this 72 level back in 2020. This is where we traded off of. We are back at that level. And if I zoom in here, you can see we're trying to do something. But the downtrend is still clearly there, right? Is this something you're ready to invest in, ready to buy long? I don't think so. But is this something that I wanted to share with you? Yes, I think it's something that's worth sharing. So you can see 72, really strong bottom here from 2020. You're back at it right now. At least something worth watching. We definitely need some strength here. The market is still just clearly selling. Downtrend is still clearly there. Not something I would buy until I see some type of relative strength off this level, but something I would put in, on a notebook, in a post-it note, watch Starbucks at 70, virus level. This is a really big level. Maybe something I would watch out for here. Just sort of sharing another possible trade there. Okay. I want to finish what I have with AMD and NVIDIA because I think everyone likes to look at those two. So let's go ahead and look at that. And let's start with NVIDIA on the daily chart. And we can clearly see the stair steps, right? The stair steps are as apparent as they can be. The big level on NVIDIA is down at 120. Do we trade down to 120? That's a question that I can't answer just yet, but is definitely possible. You can see right here, guys, we could very possibly just trade right back to where we were on this little shelf. Right, this is March 2020. This isn't March 2020. March 2020 is back here. This is March 2020. So we are still well above the virus levels, right? And you have this shelf here around 120. Do we trade back to that 120? That is definitely something that is possible, right? Right back to here, sort of regain or sort of try to hold up at this 120 shelf. That is possible. If we go to the 4-hour chart, here's what I'll show you. That's really going to depend on earnings, I think, for the most part. But you guys can see, look at the stair steps, right? You have a previous support at 210. We tried to push into it. We rejected. Here's a high right here at 204. We broke the low, right? We made a previous low around 180. We broke down, right? Broke that low. We tried to come back into it. What did we do at the previous low? Boom. Boom. We rejected the previous low. This is a stair step. Right? Does that not look like something you would walk down, right? Stairs. Boom. Here's a step. Here's your next step. You're coming back down. Your next step, right? So you're just stair stepping to the downside, making lower highs and lower lows. So you can see right now, NVIDIA is trading within the next step, which is right here, guys. NVIDIA is trading within the 180 to 160 step. So what happens on NVIDIA? This is why I'm a little bit cautious today because you're sort of in this range. But you can clearly see if we break 155, this is what it's going to look like, guys. This is the same exact thing right here. If you break 155, I'm going to pull up the old screenshot trick. It's just going to look like that. It's the same exact thing. I'd walk down those stairs. It's the same thing, guys, right? This is the same price action as this. There's no difference here. If you break this level right here, 155, you're going to do the exact same thing over again. You're going to flush the same way you flushed here, and you're going to start turning 155 into resistance. It's the exact same thing over and over again. Next stair step, break it. Turn it into resistance, make another stair step, right? And that could possibly be what we do until we get down to the 120 level. Very possible. Earnings probably decides this, but something I'm definitely watching. It is clear that NVIDIA cannot get over 180, and I would be looking for the slip under 155, personally. If you drop this low, I'd look for the slip. AMD is doing the same thing. No difference. AMD, stair step, previous support into major resistance. It's very clear. It makes a whole lot of sense. Support, resistance, can't get back above it. Every time it pushes into it, it rejects. You have a support level around 84, 85. If you drop this, you're probably coming down to the 73. Where does that 73 level come into play? I'll show you right now. We zoom out. Get more time. Here you go. That 73 level is the same level as 120 on NVIDIA, right? You see this shelf? 73, 74. If we break 85, we're coming to 73, 74. That is the same level on NVIDIA. This is the exact same thing, guys. If NVIDIA drops 160, you're probably coming down to this 120. If the market's weak, it's the exact same thing on AMD. No difference. So keep an eye on those levels. If the stair step continues, continue to look for that downside rejection. That's my advice. Okay? Let's go over, we'll go over how my month has been so far real quick, and then we'll go over the stocks that you guys want to look at. It's been a very good month for me. Started out a little weak, but so far, this has turned into a very nice month. So here it is, guys. This is my TradeZella. This is a direct connection to my Interactive Brokers account, and it'll show you guys that I started the month out pretty red, right? I had some pretty nice red days here in the beginning of the month. Had some difficulty when we were chopping around the beginning of this May. Got a very nice day on Friday. This was a Shopify trade that was huge. Last week, the week before this, was a really nice green week. Just really found consistency. Had a red day on Friday, which was small, which sort of sucks. I've been finding that my Fridays, this green day on Friday was a swing trade. I've been finding that I do not trade very well on Fridays. So you guys can see here, I lost this Friday and I lost on Friday of last week. I don't trade great on 0DTE. I say that to the chat all the time, and that is something that I have to really focus on because it's very dangerous to trade on Fridays, especially if you're not good at it. You can lose a lot of money. I trade much better at midweek. You guys can see I've had a very nice collective green day here over the last 2 weeks, putting me up about $7,000 this month. Very nice month. I started red, kept my head, found a lot of consistency here. That's my month so far, guys. Win rate's decent. 9 winning days, 7 losing days, 50 winning trades, 41 losers. So just about a 50-55 win rate, but that's something that's pretty common for me because I usually don't take very large losses. And if I can have a above 50% win rate with smaller wins or smaller losers than winners, then I should systematically be profitable, right? As long as I can keep my win rate above 50 and have smaller losers than winners, then systematically I should be profitable. So yeah, guys, that's my month so far. Pretty nice month. Thanks to TradeZella for tracking this. This is really nice. And I'll try to make a video on some of these trades, guys, but I was away for most of them, so it might be difficult. But yeah, this is TradeZella. This is something that Umar put together. It's his platform. So yeah, that's it. Very nice stuff. If you look at my long-term portfolio, you'll see that I probably gave back almost all those in long-term gains. So let's go ahead and look at it, because not everything's so pretty, guys, right? I'm not the guy that's gonna show you, just the good stuff. So here, let's look at my long-term. It's just as it's hideous. It's hideous, just like everyone else's. So here we go. Stairs. I got to put my stairs in here. This is a CAPTCHA. So I am down for this month. Yeah, not pretty. Look, I am down 3,300 this month in my long-term shares. So, it's not always, it's not all roses and butterflies, guys. I'm down $3,300 in my long-term portfolio for this month on my long-term shares. So, I'm just basically trying. My goal right now is just to offset my losses in my long-term with short-term trading options. That's really my main goal. Can I offset my losses in my long-term by trading some short-term downside with my Interactive Brokers account? If I can, fantastic. So I can offset these losses. So basically, even though the market's going down, guys, I'm still green on the month overall, because I'm able to offset these losses with some short-term scalping opportunities. That's really it. So yeah, not all great. Long-term definitely doesn't look good, but that's that. That is that. All right. Let's go to the stocks that you guys want to look at. Let's get started, and then let's get out of here. Netflix. Some days it's hard to focus on the chart and what is going on. Yeah, sometimes, for sure. But yeah, I don't plan to sell those long term, so it's just every Monday I'm buying. So today I'm going to be buying more. I will see what M1 buys. I buy stocks every Monday, guys. Okay, so here we go. Netflix. Someone said Netflix gap. Yeah, whoever put this in, it's possible you have this gap fill, but there's no way of saying what time, how long this could take years, guys. This could literally take years. There is no way of saying when this gap fill happens. This could trade years before you see Netflix back into this gap. Seriously, I mean, it could be 5-10 years. It could be 2 months. It could be 5 years. There's no way of telling. So I wouldn't look for Netflix upside until the market changes. The Nasdaq is still very weak, guys. You already know that. I've talked about it all live stream. Nothing is going to help Netflix higher more than the Nasdaq. If the Nasdaq can find strength, Netflix will come back. Until then, Netflix is not going to come back. I have Netflix shares for the long term too, JR. Obviously, it's not pretty right now, but when I look at Netflix here, I think I'm a believer that Netflix is going to find a way to come back, at least to some extent. And I think you're probably okay. Some dollar cost averaging a little bit here in Netflix, but we'll see. How do I rationalize holding long term? Because the money I put into my long term is not money I need, Dave. The money, if my life went to shit, right? If I lost everything I had, right? The money that I put into my long term is not money that I need on a daily basis. I do not need. I'll spend so I put $500 a week into the market, right? Which is a lot for maybe some people. I spend about $2,000 a month in the market. That's the money I'm willing to invest. About $2,000 a month into the market. If I don't put that into the market, guys, I guarantee you I spend that somewhere else. Something stupid. I buy car parts. I'll buy Starbucks every day. I'll do something dumb with that money. So instead of spending it on something stupid, how I rationalize it is that I am basically putting $500 into a savings account that is unfortunately losing me money right now. But in the long term, I believe that savings account will make me a return. So $500 a week, $2,000 a month that I do not need, that I will not think about, and just goes into the long term, and I don't think about it. So yeah, Netflix, back on track. Netflix, I wouldn't look for that gap until the Nasdaq comes back. Facebook's tough here, guys. Facebook's just not doing anything. Yeah, car parts. Facebook's just not doing anything. I wouldn't look for Facebook today or any day in the near future. You guys can see Facebook's just stuck. Wait for something to form here. I mean, it's going to have like pops. It's going to have like these random pops, but it's too stuck here. Look at this range Netflix is sort of trading in. So I'd wait for something to form here on FB before looking at it. I looked at it this morning and sort of just looked away. Net, yeah, down on earnings, sort of holding this 50 level. Does it fill the gap? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it holds this 50. But yeah, I think you need to get out of this range first on net. Whoever put this here. It's sort of stuck in the same range, guys. I would stay away from stocks that are trading in these ranges. So you can see net sort of stuck in this 65, 70 to 50 range. Yeah, watch out for that range. I would wait for something to sort of form there. All right, we already did the SPY, the ES. Go to the beginning of the stream if you want to see the SPY. Nike had a downgrade this morning. Yeah, we got a downgrade on Nike this morning, so watch out for that. Nike is sort of sitting at this support here. You guys can see right at this 104 level. It's sort of holding this 104. This is previous highs right here. This is actually pre-virus highs, isn't it? So you're sort of at that pre-virus level right here, guys. February, March of 2020. This is the virus. So you're sitting right there. Can it hold this level? If it breaks 104, I'd watch for downside. But look to see if it can hold this previous virus high. That's what I'd look for. DraftKings, I would look away from these small caps here, guys. Small caps are just not it right now. DraftKings is one of those small caps which just does not have anything behind it. There's just no juice for the small caps, guys. You need some juice here. This is not like it used to be. During this time, this is when small caps were hot. Everyone loved small caps. They were buying small caps even though they were making no money. Right? The company was making no money, but everyone was buying it. That's not the fact anymore, guys. I would not be looking at these stocks anymore. Sega, I have no idea what this is. It looks like it's up this morning off of earnings, potentially. Best of luck. That's really what I'll say. Best of luck. I have nothing for you there. Yeah, just watch the trend, I guess. I don't look at that stuff here, guys. All right, that's all I got. Press the like button if you could, guys. It's beautiful Monday. 500 likes would be awesome. Get me to 500 likes. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay tuned for more. Thank you guys for 46,000 subscribers. We are almost at 50K. That would be an awesome end of year goal. So we need like another 4,000 subs. If you guys could help me out. If you are not subscribed to the channel, if you enjoy the live streams, that would be fantastic. Thank you guys again for being here. Keep a watch out for that chart community that I'm building. It's going to be for you guys. It's going to be a cool community for the people on the live stream, really. That's who I'm really targeting. The people that come to the live stream that want a way to sort of look back at the levels that we talked about and a way to sort of reference what we were talking about on the live stream every single morning. Those are the people I'm targeting. So if you guys have interest in that, stay tuned. That's about it. Have a fantastic trading day. And watch out for the rejections on the market. Watch out for the rejections to the upside. All right, guys. Have a great day. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace out.